Hello there. So I was facing only the second day of vagina video every day in July if nothing arises, and I was in serious danger of failing on just the second day because it got to the stage I was like 10 o'clock at night. I'd be having a few drinks. I had some really good ideas for a video, but I realised I might not get to record, edit and upload the video in time, so I'd fail on just the second day. So hi there, Celtic King, and hello Alexa, and that looks like Bathory and Stephen. Yes, this is one of the weird things. I actually caught up with Alexa in person earlier today and now catching up online. That is really quite weird. So I was trying to make a video every day, and I had a plan for tonight's video, and I had a few drinks and thought about it and watched some Star Trek, and I was like, oh my god, I think I've run out of time. I could fail on the second day, but you know what I could do? I could do a live video with this really sort of bizarre corpse-like lighting that I've gone for here. Look, I'm going to come in here close. What's that say? Hey, remember where you were when that Dalek for a comedy bit? I've used Daleks in comedy bits before. It's funny, there's a video I made years ago from a show in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival that still gets views, that gets comments every other day. And it's nice to have something on there that's just an evergreen thing. A stage show that involved a Dalek and a Cyberman, an Astro Boy. I know some interesting people, basically. So what's this? It's Mrs. Smith's cat, yes. Can't give a heart like Periscope. Sorry, Alexa. I think you can give a like. You can give a thumbs up on YouTube. Yes, I could do these live streams on Periscope or on Facebook Live, but I'm experimenting with just doing the live streams on YouTube through my mobile because YouTube suddenly made that really easy to do. And I'm starting to feel like it might be my thing. Like I felt like this year on YouTube was going to be a change or a reinvention. And it might be, my thing might be live streams. I really enjoy them, and I really enjoy the interaction. Blaming YouTube. Alexa, you're right. It's YouTube's fault. It's absolutely YouTube's fault. So, in case it doesn't come across very well, I'm more than a little bit drunk. I've been having a few drinks since finishing work. What does this look like? I mean, this is actually the alcoholic parts of it are a white chocolate liqueur and tequila infused with chili, and it's also got the non-alcoholic parts, a lemonade and coconut pineapple juice. So it's like a devilish pina colada. It's a spicy pina colada. It's really nice, in fact. Not the first one I've had tonight either. So YouTube is not open to everyone. That is true, Alexa. Anyway, Stephen, yum is the appropriate answer. I've been making myself very nice drinks tonight. And I'm more than a little bit drunk. I've spoken to AZ about a video in the near future. How is he? Look, I'm always hopeful AZ will manage to get around on the weekend. This coming weekend, maybe he'll come around. If he comes around, I will definitely try and get him on a live stream, and I'll try and pre-record a couple of videos as well. But he's not well physically. He's having problems with anxiety as well. And so it's very hard to predict if he'll actually be around this weekend. It's been a long time since I've had him in a video. He's missing it, and you're all missing him. I'm missing him. So we might get lucky. We might get him this weekend. We'll see. Apropos of how drunk I am, people always talk about don't mix your drinks. That's what makes you sick. No, it isn't. I'm really annoyed at the non-true things that get circulated by alcohol. What makes you sick is drinking. What makes you sick is drinking an excessive amount of alcohol, whether it's the same or mixing. Tonight, I feel fine. I've had vodka and tequila and absinthe and some mixes of all of the above, and I'm fine. I'm more than a little bit drunk. I've done the tequila mixed with pineapple and coconut juice, and I've had vodka infused with tea with some lemon and lemonade, and I've had absinthe in Pepsi Max vanilla. So, I've really been mixing the drinks, but I'm not sick, and I am drunk just because of the amount of alcohol I've drunk, but people's feelings about what alcohol has what effect is mostly psychological, is what I'm saying. Eagle Dew. Absinthe is absolutely not a white spirit. Although you can get a white absinthe. The one I was drinking is actually black. It's a brand called Jacques Chirac. And the black absinthe is 85% alcohol. So, yeah, Alexa, I am a little bit of a calm drunk. In fact, I will let you in on a secret here. My other half says she knows when I'm getting quite drunk because I take the trouble to enunciate quite clearly. Yeah, Alexa, if I rewatch this tomorrow, it would probably disturb me quite a bit. But Mrs. Angry tells me she can tell when I'm a bit drunk because I go to quite some trouble to enunciate clearly. And if I'm sober, I'll just blah, 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 talk. But if I'm drunk, I don't want to appear drunk, so I will take this enormous trouble to enunciate clearly. And yeah, Celtic King agrees, that's correct. So Mrs. Angry's right about everything, basically. She knows what's what. So yeah, so this is me keeping up. This is only day 2 of a video every day in July, if nothing arises. I suddenly realized, while I could have made a pre-recorded and edited video for like a TFU Friday, because there's some very specific things I wanted to do, the time it takes to record, edit, and upload is like, oh my god, I'll run out of time, and I might fail on my vagina quest on just the second day. So I might wait till tomorrow to make that video. And I thought I could just make a quick, this will be a quick live stream, like maybe half an hour. Last night I did an over 2-hour live stream. So this will be a comparative. Alexa, are you judging me, buddy? Dry July? I can stop anytime. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll dry July. Not drink alcohol. It's an interesting thing, like, because I try to stay conscious of drinking. Like, I'll only drink towards I'll only get drunk on like a Friday or Saturday night where there's no pressure for me to wake up the next morning. Oh, Stephen, I'm glad you liked last night. It was work night because of where I live, and to get into the city, like my alarm goes off at 6:15 a.m. and I try and leave the house by about 7 a.m. to get to work sometime between 8 and 8:30, because then, you know, I can leave between 4:30 and 5. I've done my designated hours at that point, and it's not too late when I get home. So I tend not to drink during the week because I really don't want to mess with my waking up. So the only times I get what you could call drunk is like Friday, Saturday night, because there's no pressure to wake up the next morning. I've got a few things to do tomorrow. I want to do a video. I've got to see my accountant. I've got to do some tax. And tomorrow night I'm going to see Wonder Woman. Date night with Mrs. Angry to a plush special cinema to watch Wonder Woman. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping it's good. So Saturday is all kind of planned. On Sunday's a blank canvas. Anything could happen on Sunday. Aidsy might come over on Sunday if we're lucky. Who knows? Oh, look, someone's saying hello. Who's saying hello? It's Tenders. Man, it's like someone pointed out to me when I'm always trying to see what the little text is on my phone, that maybe I'd be well advised to get a tablet. This is the first time I've thought maybe a tablet is a good idea just for live streams. It is worth considering. So I might actually do that. We have till the 15th to see Wonder Woman. Yeah, so I'm going to see Wonder Woman straight away, and hope I don't get any spoilers. To know, you think a Samsung tablet is the best deal? They're cheaper than iPads, certainly. I think. I have not really seriously looked into the tablet market, so I'm not sure what I will get, if I will actually get one. You know, this maybe might even get a new video camera. Here's a bit of trivia. Look, okay, that's editing bay. My laptop's there, because my desktop has died. I'm going to put the drink down. This is my video camera. This is what I shoot most of my YouTube videos on. It's if you put that out, it's a Sony Handycam. And I bought this like 5 years ago, so they've gone up a couple generations in the meantime. Because it's so long since I bought a new one, I might treat myself and buy a new video camera soon. Of course, you got the new ones that are 4K video, and the 4K ones cost $2,000 and up. That cost about $1,000 when I bought it. Ellie, yeah, look, I might. There's a whole range. See, and this is the funny thing, because I'm on a couple of Facebook groups for YouTubers. People share things. Whenever anyone talks about a new camera, they all go for the DSLRs. They go, oh, look, the lens, this, that. But for me, because I do, excuse me, a lot of my style of video is doing long monologues with no edits, and DSLRs have limits on how long they can shoot continuous video on, whereas an actual video camera doesn't. So for me, I need to get a video camera so I don't worry about things just fucking cutting out while I'm doing one of my long monologues. It'd be interesting if one of the new Handycams has Wi-Fi. Because if the a video camera could actually transmit via Wi-Fi, I could conceivably do a live stream on a video camera, really high quality. Who knows? I would have to look into if they could communicate with the YouTube app and do that. But I am probably going to get a new video camera soon, because like I said, I haven't got one for 5 years, so I feel like I've earned the right to go out and buy a new camera, because I haven't spent the money on it for a while. And I have a bit of money, I've had a good stable job for the last 18 months. And treat yourself, Ellie, you are leading me astray. And I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of being led astray. And I think the idea, treat yourself, is a pretty reasonable idea. And the last couple of weeks, I've been putting some serious thought into. There's a couple of makes of the handycams. I mean, I'd love to get a really sexy one. Could I really use the camera as a webcam? Maybe. Yes, I know I'm worth it, Ellie. Um, Alexa, no, I don't need to go to Possible. I don't need to do crowdsourcing. Like, people occasionally say, hey, you should have uh, a, a Patreon account. And I mean, maybe I could, but I earn my money from a day job. The YouTube thing is fun. The social media thing is fun. And a few people have told me, oh, they'd like to contribute. I'd like, just actually being a video viewer and maybe sharing my stuff over social media. That is the best thing you can do for me. Ooh, big bad ads. That's an interesting question. Did I do well in school? I was a fairly good student. I went to Catholic school where they made me study, and I was fairly academic. And then I went to a state school for year 11 and 12 where they were nowhere near as strict as the Catholic school, and it all fell apart. If people don't make me work, I don't work. I'm lazy as fuck. Like at Catholic school, I actually got the strap for not doing my homework, like whack, whack, corporal punishment for not doing my homework when I was in year 8, I think. So, man, I just don't fucking work if people don't make me work. So yes, I was quite academic. I was a nerd. But if people don't make me work, I don't work. Ellie, it is crazy. Like, fucking Catholic schools were allowed to do whatever they fucking wanted to you. Green screen. Okay, yes. That's a good question. Am I going to set up the green screen? Yes, probably. I'm really slowly setting up in the new house. And, what's that, Gemma? Rape? Are you talking about Catholic school? Okay, that's the weird thing. Okay, because I was raised a Catholic, and I was even an altar boy, and I went to Catholic school. And while the Catholic Church is notorious for sexual abuse of children and parishioners, nothing ever happened to me. Maybe I wasn't pretty enough. I don't know. But there was not even any scandals in the town where I grew up. So far as I know, the country town when I grew up, there was no scandals involving the priests or the Christian brothers or anything. I mean, it happened fucking all over. The Catholic Church was awful for sexual abuse. But yes, you're right, Ellie, not that I know of. There was never any talk of sexual abuse. I think there would have been gossip if it had been happening. So, I don't know. But this is just my locality. Because obviously, there's no doubt there was sexual abuse was rife in the Catholic Church particularly, but in Christians generally. Catholic priests, Christian brothers, it was like fucked. It was so fucked. And now they're talking about Cardinal Pell possibly being charged. And what is really disturbing to me is I'm seeing these articles in the media like, oh, the police don't know whether they should charge him because he's so high up in the Catholic Church. If the motherfucker has been implicated in sexual abuse, yes, you charge him. I don't care if he's the fucking Pope. I don't care how rich someone is, how powerful someone is, how high they are in social circles or in companies. If someone is implicated in sexual abuse, you charge the motherfucker. You take it to court. Thoughts on Trump not believing in climate change? Rose. Okay, well, I don't know whether or not Trump believes in climate change, but he's pulled out of the Paris Accords, kind of, sort of, and he talks this ridiculous shit pandering to these fuckwits in his base. Isn't a question of believing in climate change. It's if you do not actively take action on climate change, you are instrumental in just terrible, terrible things that are going to happen down the line. Like fucking Australia, 90% of the population is on the coasts. And if there isn't aggressive action taken to address climate change, coastal cities are going to be destroyed. anywhere that's subject to extreme weather is going to be subjected to more extreme weather as a result of climate change. In Australia, that means drought-prone areas are going to suffer more regular and longer droughts. In the tropics, they're going to get more tropical storms and cyclones and more severe tropical storms and cyclones. Places like America that get twister seasons, that's going to be more severe and more often. Places like New York, Florida, Los Angeles, and all the southern states that have a coastline are going to be inundated. It's going to be fucking catastrophic. And then there's all these countries that are very low-lying islands that are going to be fucking disappeared. Someone's equating it to Y2K. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's intended to be a joke or if you're actually that fucking stupid. Oh yeah, Ariane, you want to move out of Florida. Florida is fucking doomed, quite honestly. Florida is going to be so fucked up. That's one of the states, one of the areas in the US that's going to cop it the worst. But all those US states that are prone to twisters and severe weather, it's going to get way worse than them. Yeah, New Orleans is going to be underwater. Oh, Bangladesh is going to fucking disappear. Yeah, and any island nations are fucked. Oh yes, Keiko points out when Trump says, "I was elected to represent Pittsburgh, not Paris," as if the idea of the Paris Accord is only about Paris. It's just a name. New Zealand is going to have trouble. Go to the high ground in New Zealand. I think New Zealand would be an awesome place to escape the collapse of global civilization. You don't want to be on the coasts. The coasts are going to get smashed and go underwater. Go to the higher country, because on top of having a lot of fresh water and good fertile land in New Zealand, there are also a lot of really dumb land-dwelling animals, so you have a good food source. Australian possums got introduced there and their vermin. It was a terrible idea to introduce them, but you could make clothes out of their fur. Oh, look, the idea, that was a good point. Would Trump like the Trump agreement? Trump is such a narcissist. If you make things about him, he'd be good. I mean, if you really want to manipulate him, yeah, some influential people, if they said, hey, what if we did something and called it the Trump agreement and you were the savior of the world and you were the most important person, he would go for it. Because he's pure ego. Wang, you want to donate my body to be eaten? I will eat other bodies, I'll tell you that. Well, look, I just saw someone do a comment of no sound. That happened to someone last night, and it only happened to individuals, didn't happen to everyone. So if you have a problem with sound goes away, I mean, just refresh your browser, I guess. Yeah, see, Ellie's saying she's got sound. So that happened last night too. So if you get a thing where you don't get sound, just refresh the browser. That might work. Yes, Keiko says close, reopen. Holy shit, he admitted to cannibalism. Who admitted to cannibalism? Like, no sound. Trying to read lips. I'm trying to enunciate. I'm trying to make it easy for lip readers and make it really, well, me. I'm not saying... would I? Well, yes, you know, if food gets hard to come by, you just kill your neighbours and eat them. I'm not even going to pretend that won't happen. No sounds a sign of global warming. Yes. Okay, I can see someone going by the wayside here. Try it, still no sound. Oh man, Ira, why is it working so badly for you? I don't know why this happened. This happened when like one person had this problem with no sound, and it didn't affect anyone else. Yeah, the internet, man. What's that about? Oh yeah, I was talking about that German headline about saying Trump, fuck you. Restart your computer, Ariane. Wow, that's going to take ages. Ellie, turn up the sound. Yes, is your sound turned on? If you can't hear me, have you actually turned on your sound? That could be... I don't think that's the problem. I think you've probably got your sound turned on. It's just with the internet, a million things can go wrong. Liver with fava beans. See, would I eat the weak with their livers with a fava bean? No, I'm just going to put them on a spit and roast them over a barbecue. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, I think when we get to the post-apocalypse, there's no subtlety to be had. You just fucking roast people over a barbecue on an open flame. Keiko, see, things go with a live stream, things go in really unexpected directions, is all I'm going to say. Oh God, New Zealand, we were talking about New Zealand involving... I had a holiday in New Zealand a couple of years ago, and the weirdest thing that happened, I think it had the most roadkill I've ever seen, because New Zealand has no sort of ground-dwelling mammals as native things. See, they have a lot of birds and stuff, but they have no ground-dwelling mammals. So there are various introduced species there. There's Australian brush-tailed possums, there's ferrets, there's rabbits, foxes, and possibly a couple other things. But rabbits and the possums in particular get as roadkill. There were some stretches of road that were basically carpeted in squished animals. And I was just kind of glad as I drove through them. It was a cold day, because I think on a hot summer's day in these areas where the highway was just a carpet of squished animals, rabbits mostly, it would have smelled really, really, really bad. But it was cold when I drove through there, so the smell of rotting meat wasn't really about. But that's one of the reasons that I think New Zealand is the place to go, where when, you know, post-apocalypse, because there's all these dumb ground-dwelling animals you can kill for food. Well, I just saw someone posting they want a top hat. I love hats. But wait a second. I'm going to go get a top hat. It's just out there. Just 1 second. I'll get it. Look. There's actually Mrs. Angry's top hat. Doesn't really fit me. How's that? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't really fit me. It's just kind of sitting on top of my head. I'm going to read these things out. Where did I go? I'm back. I'm a top... Okay, I see. Top hat. Animal. See? So I've got a really big head. This doesn't really fit me. This is my hat. See, a hat that fits me. That's a bit more like it. That's a hat that fits me. It sits on my head properly. Yeah, it looks incredibly cool. Long pig. That's right, the Maori term. That's a general cannibal term for people who eat humans, because human meat, it's not a fedora RC, it's a different... This is an akubra. Yes, various cannibals around the world, because human meat is apparently sweet meat like pork. So human is called long pig because if you roast a human, they're longer than a pig, but it tastes like pork. It's a sweet meat. I'm just saying, I'm not admitting to having eaten human flesh. Rose, I may be a Bondi hipster. Look, I'll take that off now. Just that was a very temporary moment of wearing hats. So yes. So I'm not admitting to eating human flesh. I'm saying I've heard that it tastes like pork. It's a sweet meat. It's like a white meat, and it's sweet, and it's known as long pig. Oh, you want a screenshot of me wearing a hat? Look, I'll put it back on. I've got no shame in wearing hats. I have a few hats. This is the funny thing, people who don't know me, I have a massive head. So, yeah, I have a really large head. I get these comments on videos sometimes saying, "Are you a midget?" Because my arms seem too short for my head. It's not that my arms are short, it's that my head's really large. I have fun when I'm hanging out with people, like if I have a YouTube meetup and I'm wearing a hat. I give my hat to people with normal sized heads, and the hat that sits up there on my head, on a human with a normal size head, it just drops like right down to their eyes because my head is stupidly fucking large. I'm not going to joke. Like, this is a size, this hat that sits comfortably on my head is a size 64. That means a 64-inch circumference, or 64 centimeter circumference on my head. So most normal hat shops stop selling hats at about a size 58, because that's an extra large. 58 is an extra large for most people, but I need a 64 to actually hit my head. Oh, Alexa, yeah, I have to go to a specialist hat shop. In fact, if I want to fuck with people who sell hats, if I see a shop that sells hats and I want to fuck with them, I just go and say, "Hey, do you have any hats that fit my head?" And they go, "What style would you like?" And I go, "Don't worry about style. Just bring me your biggest hat." And in most shops, their biggest hat just kind of sits on my head up here. It's like this one. The top hat here, it just sits on top of my head and doesn't really go on my head. And they're always confounded by that because I just have a stupidly large hat. Hats have sizes based on the circumference of your head. Like I said, you go into a hat shop and see what's the largest hat. It's probably about a 58, maybe a 60. Mine's a 64. So, oh look, Ellie, I love my hat. I'm not shameless. I wear them to work. I have like about 3 different hats I wear to work. Keiko, Mr. Angry and the 2 small hats. All hats. You know, this is a fucking true story. Even, baseball hats with the snapbacks, they're normally too small for my head. Even if you open them up to the maximum, they're normally too small for my head. That is how big my head is. Now, I just had a question here. Do I have any secret hobbies, any secret talents? Not really. I'm a bit of a writer. I think I'm a pretty good writer, actually, particularly a writer of dialogue. My dad was a photographer, so I know photography fairly well. But I'm not a very good visual artist. I'm not a good drawer or painter or anything like that. But I think I'm a pretty good writer. Ruku-san, what's a good band name? Buddy, Buddy, Buddy? What kind of fiction? My favourite sorts of fiction are fantasy, sci-fi stuff. That's the stuff I'm most interested in writing. I think I am particularly good at writing dialogue. Most people who've read my stuff say I'm good at writing dialogue. Oh, Ruki-san, that? Mr. Angry and the 2 small hats. Yeah, that would be the name for my band, I think. Mr. Angry and the 2 small hats. You're onto something there, Luke. But I could do that. I have my unpublished novel, which is actually based around playing Dungeons and Dragons. What was that? Imagine a war battle is about to commence. Angry stood in the front line with a cooking pot in his noggin. Yeah, I need a pot. Do I ride bikes? I ride bikes sometimes. Can you say my email? Shooting through an idea. Alexa, you can send me an email at its.angry.aussie@gmail.com. So yeah, it's AngryAussie@gmail.com. It's.angry.aussie@gmail.com. You can send me an idea. I'd be really keen, Alexa, to know what your idea is. That's pretty cool. I seriously have like my unpublished manuscript that I wrote in my fucking 20s, that's based around Dungeons and Dragons. I thought of rewriting as blog posts. Ruku-san. No, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons for years, but I used to play it a lot, and I really like it. Jammer wants to edit my text. What would be my most favourite fantasy and sci-fi? I'm a big Tolkien fan. Contemporary writers, I like people like William Gibson, Neil Gaiman. Who else? I am reading. I'll show you what I'm reading at the moment. My bag's just here. What I'm reading at the moment by Warren Ellis, Gun Machine. Warren Ellis writes a lot of comics, both some edgy stuff. Hey, Petite Wallaby, hello there. How are you? Petite Wallaby has done comic versions of me in the past. I see. I have my old monster manuals. I don't think I have any of my D&D stuff anymore. I used to have the monster manual stuff. Warren Ellis writes a lot of really good comics, both fringe stuff, and he writes some like mainstream Marvel and DC. But he has written a couple of novels, and I've just started reading this one called Gun Machine, which is quite good. It's like a cop story. The basic premise of Gun Machine is a cop uncovers an apartment that's full of hundreds of guns, and it turns out every single gun was used once in an unsolved murder. So it's some sort of crazy serial killer that owns the guns, and the cop has to try and work out who it is who owns the guns before they get him. And I've just started reading it. It's pretty goddamn good. Is the current game back here? Yeah, D&D, I played a lot of standard stuff. I did years of D&D, really enjoy it. Oh, Stephen, you going good night? Good night. All right. Wow, I've already gone 30 minutes. I probably won't stay that much longer tonight. I had a really long one last night. Aruga-san, yes, Transmetropolitan is Warren Ellis. Malcolm Ross. Ooh, I think young Ms. Angry just got home from work from the sounds of that. Yeah, Warren Ellis. I actually only just finished reading Transmetropolitan. I own the first couple trade paperbacks, and I was in a library recently and they had the whole run of Transmetropolitan, so I read it, and I only just recently finished reading the run of Transmetropolitan, which probably finished being published 10 years ago. Rose, yes, young Ms. Angry works in a clothing retailer, and some of her shifts are quite late. So I think I just heard her coming home just now. She's 19 now. I call her young. She's 19. That's how old I am. I have a 19-year-old daughter. So, and she's very together and all that sort of thing, and running her life. I still try and play dead. Like, I'll cook dinner and I'll, make food and look after stuff around the house, because I like to do that. Like, my daughter's 19 and my son's 17, but I still like to play dad. Keiko, our age difference is probably enough that you could technically be my daughter. No, I'm not going to eat either of my kids. That's okay. So yes, a lot of people underestimate how. Good night, Ira. Thank you for dropping by. Maya, I missed it. What did you miss, Maya? I don't know. Or is it because I said I probably wasn't going to stay around that much longer? Oh, look, I might stay around because I'm having fun. Bjorky Peterson, 8 people. You may be right, Joanna. Ooh, okay. My battery's running ice. Shirt deserves a cut. I unapologetically wear flannelette shirts because they're really comfortable. Celtic Kingdom, my kids like me being AngryAussie. Well, they've been used to it because I've been doing it for, like, I'm coming up on 12 years. So I was doing it from when they were, 5 and 7 years old. So they're used to it. When they were younger, when they were, like, at school, their kids, occasionally someone at school would say something like, I watched this really funny video on YouTube, and this guy swearing a lot, and he was called AngryAussie, and my kids should go, oh, that's my dad, shut up. It's like, that was my favourite, when they would say, like, they would come and tell me, oh God, someone at school was going, oh, so this really funny video, and there's this guy called AngryAussie who swears a lot, and the kids would go like, just fucking no, that's my dad, just no, don't talk about it, I don't want to know about it. What made me start the channel, Rose? What made me start is I originally thought I was going to do stand-up comedy, and I was testing stuff out. I know, Keiko, you're right. Look, I have been doing this for 12 years. That is a long fucking time. Yeah. And I've had contact with some viewers, interaction with some viewers for virtually the entire time. So people who've gone from their teens to their late 20s, stuff like that. And it's really fucking trippy. It's really strange. Jahatma, I agree. I deserve a medal for being the more than 10 years. So, yes. I remember it was my first video shot on the table. Toilet, I should say. Yes. Yeah, Ariana, 9 years. This is the thing. Some people have stuck with me for a lot of, and I really enjoy it. Like, obviously, I'm not a huge YouTuber. You get all those people who have millions of subscribers, and it's not that I wouldn't like that, but I do YouTube for fun. I have a day job. To make as much money from YouTube as I do in my day job, I'd have to be in the top 1% of YouTubers, and that isn't going to happen. So yeah, yes, petite wallaby, it's good when I have a viewer all the way from Canada who actually comes to Australia and hangs out with me. So yes, Kako, you're right, it's nice to have a smaller community where, yeah. Ruka says when I smashed the Rubik's Cube, that was probably from my first year on YouTube. I would do really random shit in the first year or two. There's one where I smashed the Rubik's Cube, proving I could solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds, and then I couldn't, so I smashed it in frustration. In those early, like in the first year on YouTube, it was so new and so exciting. There were days I would upload 3 videos in a single day because these ideas were just exploding out of my head, and the idea of being able to do stuff and get it out to people and have people watch it was so amazing. Erina, been around for a while, super excited when I met you at Melbourne Zombie Shuffle one year. Watching. Yeah, see, that's the funny thing. I meet people in all sorts of places at all sorts of events, and it's great for me to meet people. So yeah, on the off chance you do ever see me anywhere, definitely say hello because I really enjoy it. It's part of the whole scene as far as I'm concerned. So first subscription, that's what I like, Ira. The right way to hang toilet paper. My God, that was one of my first videos. And the weirdest thing, Ira, if you remember that video, basically everything I said in that video was true. It's a very old video of mine. I'm a very firm believer in toilet paper rolls over the top, not behind the back. And I said a thing about finding my toilet paper being turned around, and it was my girlfriend at the time, who I'm still with. She was doing it, and I thought she was a vampire because she did it. That was actually a true story. Most of the stuff in that video about hanging toilet paper the right way was actually true, was actually real stories from my real life. So, yeah. Good on you, Ira. You've got to save people from doing things the right way. No. Toilet paper only goes one way. It's got to roll over and down the front. Down behind the back is wrong. It's wrong. That's the work of the devil. That's what I'm saying. I knew someone actually saying they met a vampire. I met people who bite people. And yeah, I've met people who are into blood play. So, I know a lot of interesting and unusual people, is what I'm saying. So we're going to end up doing like a live stream. Coco, your partner's read about the toilet paper thing. Yeah, look, the toilet paper thing is real, man. There are two schools of thought. Last year, heaps of pingers. Jehetma, no, taking heaps of pingers can be bad. I've had a couple of experiences in my life of people I was either sharing a house with or was close to having amphetamine psychosis. It's a bad thing. I'm all for having a good time, but abusing substances is a bad thing and will really fuck you up. And no matter what it is, alcoholism is probably the biggest problem in Australia. But you can smoke too much dope. Obviously, you can do too much heroin, but yeah, too much amphetamines, hallucinogens. They're all. I think I've probably met people who've done too much of everything. So I'm going to do a Rick and Morty burp in the middle of a sentence now. I've met people who've got brain damage from alcoholism, who've smoked too much dope, who've done too much acid, who've done too much amphetamines, and they're all fucked. You don't want to do anything in extremes. Rosie, you're right. Drinking in Australia is a very big problem. And, drinking alcohol is somehow okay even if you do it to excess. Drugs are bad, but you can drink lots of alcohol. No. I've known people who've got brain damage from alcohol abuse, smoked too much dope and got fucked up, and people who've had amphetamine psychosis, and people who've done too much acid, so they're permanently fucked up. Too much of anything is bad, and alcohol is probably the worst of all, because it fucks up so many people. And it's covered up so much as being, it's just a social drink. It's not like you're on drugs or anything. Alcohol is such a fucking evil thing in society. Look, Jahatma, you're right. Marijuana can actually have medicinal qualities. Some people find it helpful for various mental health disorders. Obviously, for some people, it can make mental health disorders worse. For some cancer sufferers, it can help with appetite. For some people where traditional pain medicine doesn't work, marijuana does work. But if you do it too much, like you do anything too much, you can have negative effects. But the way marijuana is demonized is ridiculous. Chatma, you're right. It's the same as like antidepressants. In some cases, antidepressants can save a person's life, but in other cases, the wrong sort of antidepressant can actually make someone suicidal. And you're right. Alcohol's fucking bad. I'm saying this. I had a few drinks tonight. I finished my drink. It's no more drink. I'm going to stop drinking because I'm going to go to bed soon. Do I think Australia will ever legalise marijuana? Yes, I do. Slowly but surely we're getting there. But I mean, alcohol is so much worse. Alcohol is so much worse than marijuana. It's fucking ridiculous that marijuana gets demonized when alcohol is clearly so much worse. I'm not that drunk that I'm flipping my cock out and running. Go, well, maybe I'll do that afterwards. Who knows? Who knows? Go and shake up my neck. Oh my god! All the neighbours around here are so old. They're so quiet. Yeah, Chapman. Like I actually had AIDSy over a while ago, and we were a little bit out of it, and we went out around my neighborhood at like 2 in the morning, and it's so fucking quiet here. Like it's dead quiet. Nothing happening. We just laughed. We just went out for a walk at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it was so quiet. There's fucking nothing happens in this neighborhood late at night. But yeah. So waiting list for counselling service new case criminal. Oh gosh. Oh look, when Oh, Jack was asking me when I grew up in Melbourne. I did not grow up in Melbourne. I grew up in country New South Wales. I am a country boy. I lived in the country until I finished college. So I grew up in Dubbo in Western New South Wales. Then I went to college in Bathurst, which is west of Sydney. And then I moved to Sydney when I was about 22, 23. And I lived in Sydney for 10 years. Then I moved to Melbourne. And I've been in Melbourne for about 20 years. So, yeah. So, yes, the Dubbo Zoo is quite nice. I see someone commenting there. So I have lived in Melbourne for about 20 years now, but I did not grow up here. I grew up in the country, and I live around Caulfield now. So I used to live in the west of Melbourne, like Footscray, Sunshine. I lived around there for quite a while, and because when I met up with Mrs. Angry, I ended up moving out. She lived in St Kilda, so I moved to St Kilda. And our most recent move, it's not a huge move. We went from St Kilda to Caulfield. So what John Safran calls Jewtown in his favourite song. So it is kind of funny. I've been living in really conservative Jewish areas for more than 10 years, which is so not me. But the neighbours, lovely people. But I'm somewhat out of place in these really conservative Jewish neighbourhoods. But say lovey, little country town Catholic boy living in Jewish neighbourhoods these days. It's fine. It's fine. I get on with everyone. It's fine. But my current neighbourhood is so quiet. It's really bizarre. But yeah. The joy of living. Look, I'm going to go to bed. But my goal tomorrow, Saturday, to actually do like a weekend TFU. And look, the things I want to hit on, I want to hit on how people getting upset about the Kathy Griffin with Trump's head is bullshit. Trump pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord is bullshit. Probably make jokes about Feifei as well, because that was kind of funny. And there might be one or two other things as well. But yeah, I really just want to rant on the bullshit of, people think, oh, how dare Kathy Griffin hold up Donald Trump's severed heads. No one ever did that before. Oh, apart from 8 years of people doing lynching symbolism with Obama, you fucking lying sacks of shit. Every conservative who got upset at Kathy Griffin with the severed Trump head is a hypocritical piece of shit. I fucking hate hypocrisy. Far more than just disagreeing with people on politics or social issues. Hypocrites fucking shit me. Ted Nugent repeatedly made lines about murdering Obama or Clinton, and Trump fucking invited him into the White House when he Ted Nugent non-stop talked about murdering Obama and Clinton, but Trump invites him into the White House. But somehow, Kathy Griffin holding up a mock severed Trump head is completely unacceptable. Fuck you. Any conservative who got worked up at that is a lying, fucking, hypocritical sack of shit. And you make me sick. And I'm going to have a real good fucking rant about that later. Because now I'm going to go to bed. I said I was only going to do this for about half an hour, and I've done it for about an hour. Because I love you people. I love sharing time with you. I'm loving these live streams. I'm going to do a lot of them as time goes by because they're a lot of fun. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I will be doing more of these. I'll probably be posting a video or two over the weekend coming days. And hopefully I'll see you again in a live stream soon. So bye now.